It's Black History Month.
It's showtime.
And instead of making sure that African Americans are receiving benefits equitably, your president.
Why you got to be my president? You're trying to say the orange turd is my president. Why you got to be my president?
Yes,
Why can't he be your president? Why can't he be their president? He's their president. He's y'all's president.
The melon felon.
The melon felon. The orange
Is
turd.
pandering to all of the Negro leaders that showed up at his little thing during Black History Month by saying he's going to erect some statues in honor of some of our heroes.
How does that help us pay the bills?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Look, our bills, our parents' bills, had nothing to do with no statues.
No, my father had a pension and didn't care about no damn statues.
Yeah. So that gets me to thinking, like, all of this theater that's going on in the White House, right? Like, all of this stuff is just about, like, the perception of progress.
It's smoke and mirrors. It's smoke and mirrors.
Or the perception of wealth. What is all of this? What is all of that? I don't know what that is either. That wasn't supposed to be
it's all just smoke and mirrors. So I mean, he's throwing all this. I mean, they said what they were doing, folks. Listen to what they're saying. Listen to what he's saying, what they're doing, because that's exactly what they're doing. We're going to flood the media and everything else with all this craziness. We're going to make it look like everything is every day three things crazy are going to happen, which makes us look over here at the shiny object and forget everything else that he's doing.
Right.
Don't fall for it.
Exactly.
Don't fall for it.
Exactly. So all of this theater is just about the perception of wealth, the perception of progress. And so y'all know that I just had a death in the family. And so I was back in the United States, and I'm telling you, it was like reverse culture shock. Because
wait a minute. So you left Portugal and went to the U.S. to where you were born and raised, and you had culture shock?
Yeah. I'm not used to the conversations that I heard. Like really? I'm not used to it anymore. And it's interesting because you don't realize things until you leave, right? Like, and we're going to do a video on, you cannot heal in the place that has caused you harm.
Okay.
You don't realize that some of the conversations that we consider normal are actually detrimental and toxic, So we were there, my aunt, basically my second mom, just passed away. And so we're all there at a family member's house, and, people start passing through, you know how it goes, right? And so I'm sitting back because I've lived out of the state for a minute. And so even though, I've seen my family on a regular basis, some of the extended family, right? The friends, that we say my play cousin and them, right? All of those folks, I haven't seen for like 20 years. And so they're coming through. And what I got was a lot of Black excellence and not a lot of talk about Black wealth. That's what I got. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Okay, but first, let's introduce ourselves.
That's right. Hey, y'all. My name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money. We talk about not politics. We talk about travel and retiring abroad. We help folks who look like us, who are getting close to retirement age, get their money straight so that they can retire on time,
early, or
abroad. All right, sweetheart. So what are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about Black History Month. And, it has to be about more than some damn statues.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, come on now.
You're in the upside down world when the person who's supposed to be the president of the United States says that it is now against the law to participate in Black History Month and then has a Black History Month event at the White House.
Ain't that nothing? Ain't that nothing?
I'm just trying to understand what's going on. What is going on? What is going on? Okay, but first, look, if you are new to our channel, then you might not know. Back in 2018, Rick and I got a wake-up call. We were getting close to retirement age. We looked at our money, and it looked crazy. But we did get our financial act together, and we went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth, y'all. Yeah. If we can do it.
Come on now. That means y'all can do it too.
You can do it too. You can do it too. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe. We're trying to get to that 100K. Subscribe, hit that notification bell twice, boom, so that you know every single time that we go live or drop a new video. And if you like this topic and you find it interesting and it should be shared,
give it that thumbs up, y'all.
Smash that like button. Smash that like button so that YouTube knows that this is something that should be shared amongst our community. We will say hello to the folks who are in the chat, but first, let's get to definition and let's focus on the difference between Black excellence and Black wealth.
But wait a minute. The last time we were on, were you here?
No, I was in Los Angeles.
I got my wife back, yeah.
We're back. I'm back in Portugal. I am back in Portugal.
Safely.
Yes. Even I was on a Delta flight and was concerned when I left. We actually flew up and over the United States, so we did not have to worry about the FAA and y'all's melon felon fire and all the FAA.
I ain't gonna
people.
lie, y'all. I was watching all the flights and stuff like that, and then when I figured her flight was over the Atlantic Ocean, I said, "Okay, she's good."
That's a doggone shame.
That's a shame.
That's a doggone shame. But I want to talk about this. I want to talk about Black excellence versus Black wealth, because so often we get distracted by nonsense. We get distracted by the appearance of wealth. We get distracted by all of the bling. And we need to get beyond the bling. We need to get beyond the bling and focus on what really equals freedom and liberation.
Yeah.
So Black excellence emphasizes achievement, emphasizes talent and success across various fields, right? Education, arts, activism, sports, leadership, whatever have you, right? It's about breaking barriers and presenting greatness.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas Black wealth
centers on financial prosperity, asset building, and economic power. It's about creating, maintaining, and passing on generational wealth.
Passing on generational wealth. It is about asset building. It's about economic power and creating and passing on generational wealth. I was listening to some conversations and I heard people bragging about what they had, right? I heard people bragging about what they could do and who they knew. I didn't hear anybody passing on information that would lead to our folks, having a better life, having a more liberated life, having freedom, having the freedom to just say, oh, I've got a family emergency. I'm gonna pick up and go for a week. Like, I did not hear those conversations. And that is what breaks my heart. That is what breaks my heart. So y'all know the drill. If you have a comment or question that you would like us to put on screen, you know the drill. Put it up. This is an interesting conversation because this is kind of a soft subject that we don't really talk about, right? It's kind of a money mindset conversation, right? And I don't know what goes on like if this were a white family, I don't know what the conversation would be like. I have no idea, nor do I really care. What I do know is that the conversations that I was listening to were pretty typical. They were pretty typical. You got to remember, like my family and their friends, mostly educated, right? All the stuff, right? Most of them have bachelor's degrees or some college. A lot have masters and PhDs and terminal degrees and stuff like that. They're doctors, the whole thing, all the stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of the things that America tells us as Black folks we are supposed to do in order to build wealth. This room was full of those people. And yet, all I heard was hustle and grind, hustle and grind, hustle and grind talk, hustle and grind talk. That's what I heard.
I think that's all they know.
Right. Like we're trying to process trauma, right? We're trying to process trauma. We had a family member pass away and we couldn't even get into celebrating her and or grieving because people are so obsessed with the hustle and grind. Why? Why? Why do you think that is? Why is our community so obsessed with the hustle and grind that they cannot even pause when a family member passes away? I want to know.
Yeah, give us your thoughts on that, please.
I want to know. Black excellence drives cultural change and inspiration, setting new standards for representation and possibilities.
Black wealth drives economic independence and influence, allowing control over resources, businesses, and political power.
Did you hear that? So, Black excellence drives cultural change, and it is those cultural changes that actually creates wealth. But we are not enjoying that wealth as we should be. So we're doing all of these things, but we are not enjoying the wealth, right? So Black wealth drives economic independence and influence, allowing that's power. Now that is true power. That is true power. And so I think we have been concentrating on the wrong things. Maybe we have been concentrating on the wrong things. What do you think? All right, let's see who is in the chat, and then we will get to the third and fourth and fifth last thing that we have to say. All right. Hey y'all. So
Hey, Paula.
Paula's in the chat.
Paula's been here. She was here for a while before we even started.
Right? She was. Hey CK, good to see you. Allison Rowe is in the chat. Paula Washington, Flutterby, Pacific Northwest.
Travel artistry.
By VR on the move is in the house. Chevet, Dr. James Greer, good to see you. Hello, it's good to be here. It's good to see you. We just saw you in the Zoom meeting yesterday.
That's VJ.
Hit that like button, y'all, as you come in. A. Lee is in the house. Shanora. Pinky. Hey, Lenora. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Actually, it's 8:44 in the evening here in Portugal, y'all. It's 8:44. Hey, Valerina. Hey, Valerina. Good to see you. My community resource house and garden is in the house.
Isan Ben. I like that name. Isan One.
Yeah. My community resource house and garden. Hello, Charlotte here. I don't know if that's if Charlotte is a typo or not. Hey, Isan One, but Isan One. Greta Cobb is in the house.
Hey, Greta.
Sorry, I got distracted, but we have our side hustle challenge going on right now, y'all. And that was the 4th week. So we have one more week to go. Oh my God, that went so fast. We have one more week to go. And I really see people's ideas coming together, right? What do you think, sweetheart?
I think that they really see what they're trying to do, and I think some good stuff is coming out of it.
Yeah. I'm really excited. And so just seeing some of the names being changed because now they are promoting their new side hustle, which I love, right, Tanya? Cheryl PhD is in the house. Greta Cobb, rapper MD. Christina Jackson, Gwen and Derek Travels, Evelyn Golden, Avocado Queen. All right, Rose, we've got Axel, the ABX girl, Badia, Pinky, Justice. We love y'all. All right, we are going to go all the way down to the bottom. If you have got a question or comment, please let us know. And y'all, I'm going to do it. Hey, Kevin, thank you so much. Thank you. Super thanks and super chat money, as y'all know, goes to our scholarship fund for Beyond the Bling. That's our financial freedom course for late bloomers like us.
Shoot us an email.
So thank you, Kevin. And thank you, Wilbro61, Costa Rica. After next week to celebrate my 64th birthday. I'm glad to take off whenever I need. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. All right. We're going to get back to it. Let's see. Thank you, Michael.
I
appreciate it. It's hard, y'all. And so, some of the things that have me thinking is about, sometimes I don't want folks to think that this journey has been easy, that moving abroad is just like, oh yeah, no big deal. All we have to do is da, 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 and perhaps depending upon where you move, it can be just that easy. But you need to have a little bit of money, okay? Or you have to have money coming in, or actually both, right? Like it's hard not, especially for Black women, it is hard not to be around family during these times. And, I just thank God that we had the resources that would allow me to, at a moment's notice, book a flight. Right? Book a flight from here in Portugal to Los Angeles so that I could be with my family during this time. And so these are the kinds of things that you need to prepare for, either financially or mentally and emotionally. Like if you decide like, okay, that's just not going to be in our budget, then you've got to be prepared for that. And I don't think, just hearing some of the stories and the people who give us a call, I don't want people to think that moving abroad is just like, oh, no big deal. It's no big deal. It's not that hard. It's pretty straightforward. But you got to have some stuff in place.
And it is a big deal. It truly is when you really, really think about it. It is. Because it takes a lot, and there's a lot to learn. Mm-hmm. To adjust and everything else. So it is a big deal, but it's something that you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not something that, there's no way I could ever do anything like that. Yes, it is. You can do it.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So we were talking about the difference between Black excellence and Black wealth. And we said, it's visibility versus legacy, right? The legacy, Black wealth builds legacy. It's not just about, what's in front of you, visibility. Cultural impact versus economic power. So, I'm not sure that those are necessarily separate, because I think that if the majority of Black folks had wealth, had financial independence, that would have cultural impact, right? So I don't think the cultural impact just has to be about the arts and things like that, right? Like, right? You see how we do things, you see how we think about things and how we separate stuff. in a manner that doesn't really make sense. And so pathways, Black excellence achieved through education, Black excellence is achieved through education, skill, creativity, and groundbreaking contributions in a field, right? Like think about like academics or sports, of course, activism, and things like that.
Yeah.
Whereas Black wealth
is built through financial literacy, entrepreneurship, real estate investments, and business ownership.
I was not hearing the kind of conversations last week in the United States amongst our people that I wanted to hear regarding building Black wealth. I was hearing a lot of conversations that sounded like keeping up with the Joneses.
Ah, okay.
Right? As opposed to, right, like conversations like, give me a call. Maybe I got a job for you.
Yeah. Or I am the Jones and you need to try to keep up with me.
That part, right? As opposed to, oh, the government has these contracts and I got one. Let me show you how you can get one too. Right? Let me show you how you can fish too, as opposed to, yeah, I got to fish, right? Like we do not have the luxury in this day and age. We do not have the luxury anymore. Not that we ever did, but we certainly do not now, with what is going on in the United States, to withhold information, to act like we live in silos, right?
Yeah.
Like to not be proactively trying to create a community to build Black wealth. We do not have that luxury. We never did, but we certainly do not now, folks. We certainly do not now. So, time frame. Black excellence can be achieved through individual brilliance and immediate impact. A groundbreaking performance, often right? A historic achievement, right? Yeah. So we know about all of that, right? Barack Obama, Black excellence. No one can say, and this is not to diminish the impact of his presidency, but it did not necessarily build Black wealth.
No.
Right? I think we get so caught up in the theater of it. I think we get so caught up in the icons. We get so caught up in the perception of wealth, which that is Black excellence. Black excellence is fruit of the slavery tree. It is nothing but the perception of wealth.
Yeah. Yes. And Black wealth often requires long-term strategy, patience, and generational planning to establish and sustain.
That's right. And so what I just, this is going to be short today, y'all. Because I'm still processing what I've gone through with my family. But I think in this time, we need a wake-up call. Black America needs a wake-up call. And we need to stop focusing on bullshit and start focusing on what will actually lead to our true liberation. We need to stop concentrating on trying to save a system that has been created to oppress us. And start concentrating on how we build generational Black wealth in our communities. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
That's what we need to do, right? And so if you need help with your finances, if you need personal help getting your finances straight so that you can help the next person build financial wealth, we've got you covered. We've got you covered. That's called Beyond the Bling. It is our financial independence course for late bloomers, for folks who are over 40, over 45, who are getting late and getting started late to making sure that they have financial independence, right? And so we no longer have excuses in 2025. We no longer have excuses in 2025 to get stuck behind the eight ball. Because what I saw going on in the United States when I was there, like bacon was $9, y'all. Bacon was $9. What I saw, bacon was $9 a package. What I saw going on in the United States, I did not feel the sense of urgency that should be. Like the house is on fire and people are acting like it's just a hot day. That's what I got. That's what I got. But the house is on fire in the United States. The house is on fire. They are in the midst of a constitutional crisis. And what we need to do as a community, what we need to be concentrating on is not trying to put that fire out necessarily. We can make some calls and vote and do that stuff, but we need to be concentrating on building our own community wealth. That's what we need to be concentrating on. That's what we need to be concentrating on. So assess your spending. Assess your spending. Decide what can stay, what can be replaced, and what needs to go. You might find that you have got subscriptions and things like that you don't even pay attention to anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's easy to do.
That's easy to do.
I've done it myself a couple of times.
That's easy to do. Yeah, and with the small ones, your phone will tell you when the subscriptions are up. If it's an app, it'll tell you when the subscriptions are out. So you need to assess your spending and you need to cut out the waste. The way Elon Musk, that apartheid king, is cutting jobs with absolutely no thought to productivity or to running the government. Just cut. I don't want you to cut your budget like that, right? That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. But seriously, as he's cutting benefits and trying to get rid of that safety net, so too you must cut some of your extraneous benefits so you can save more money. You need to turn off the TV and start researching, investing outside of America and in other currencies and in silver and gold and real estate.
Which I think we need to go back and bring your cousin on.
I knew you were going to say that.
He's more of the expert on gold and precious metals.
Right.
And he'd be a good person because I know we get questions all the time about what should I invest in? Should I invest in gold? Should I invest in silver? Should I invest in these different things? But I don't know how to do or what I need to do. And he is a great resource to show and share that information. We've had him on before, but I think he's due for another visit to the channel.
Yes, yeah, he's had a lot of changes, and so some of the projects that we were hoping to work on, we haven't been able to. So I think we do need to bring him back. And some of the folks who have contacted us about investing in gold, we have sent his way. So hopefully you were able to get the answers that you need. And I am just marking questions right here. Thank you, Black Butterfly. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
These are bringing in a harvest. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, y'all, each one needs to teach one. Seriously.
Yeah.
I do not think that people realize that we are in the midst of a pivotal change in our history. Like the chances of this not being a pivotal moment, and when I mean pivotal, the way that World War II was pivotal to the early 1900s, right? If this is not that time, I will be shocked, because all of the writing is on the
It's on
wall.
the wall. Yeah.
All of the writing is on the wall, right? Data CPA.
Data CPA.
It's it. I don't see how we get out of this cleanly. When the checks and balances don't check and balance, how do we get out of this cleanly? Right? Like when someone says, well, the judge has said you've got to do A, B, and C, and he's like, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I ain't doing it. What you gonna do about it? And everybody looks around and says, well, 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 but you've got to. No, I don't. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And everybody's just kind of flabbergasted. They don't know what they do. The Congress does not have a clue on what to do, nor does the judicial branch have a clue as to what to do with these MFs just saying, yeah, I know the court said A, B, and C. That's nice. That was a great exercise, but we're going to do what we're going to do. And there's nothing you can do about it, right? Like, we have never, ever in the history of America been in this situation.
No.
Never. And I don't think that we as Black folks really appreciate the moment that we are in, because we know that if Kamala had even come close to even uttering a like, that's nice, courts, what would be going on right now? We know that. So we don't even need to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Right? We don't even need to have that conversation. But what we do need to talk about is the fact that the House is on fire and Black America is acting like is business as usual. And they're focusing on Black excellence and the perception of wealth as opposed to Black wealth. Right, Ra? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ra.
Black excellence, Black people deserving of humanity. If they are exceptional under this belief, being exceptional will somehow shield them from discrimination or make them better than the rest of Black folks, right? Which is a fallacy. Exactly. It is so much fruit of the slavery tree. It is that respectability politics. Like, if we just dress a certain way and wear our hair a certain way and talk a certain way, then white folks will accept us. Come on now. We know that that's not true. And it doesn't really matter, right? Like, we have to get out of white as the default. Like, everything has to be compared to American whiteness, not white as in European, like American whiteness, because that's a different kind of thing, right? Like, that is the default of the world. And it's just not.
No.
It's not, right? And once we can get past that, then we can get past the perception of wealth, Black excellence, that perception of wealth, as opposed to building true Black wealth, which sometimes takes sacrifices and sometimes does not look pretty on the outside. Hey, Angelia. Just turned 59, but I refuse to believe it's too late. That's right. It's not. So glad as I found you guys. Thank you, y'all. Give me hope. Glad to see you home safely. Thank you. As you know, all of the super chat, super thanks money goes to our scholarship fund for Beyond the Bling. And we will answer some questions and then we will let you go. Thank you, Michael. I'm so sorry for your loss. Most of us are defined by our jobs. Our identities are tied to our occupations outside of our jobs. Most people don't know who they are.
We had dinner this evening before we came on air, and that's what I was saying to you. You know, most of the time, everybody's tied to their jobs, and that just describes who they are and what they are about and stuff like that. And it's just not so. It's just not so.
And we believe that other people will give us a value, right? 10 being the highest value, 1 being the lowest, right? They will give us a value based upon what our occupation is.
Yeah.
Right? Look, they ain't paying your bills. They are not paying your bills. This is America, Pinky says. The focus is always on the wrong thing, and it's so normalized. We can't even see that it's a problem. You are so right. I like, the house is on fire, you guys. It is on fire. And when I looked around, it was so business as usual. When I was hearing the conversations, it was so business as usual. FYI, I'm not a Protect Privacy who keeps using her name Cassandra. Wait, what? I don't know what's going on. Halisi, you were in LA. Yes, there's an additional layer of fakeness pretending not to be rich there from LA. Yeah, I know. So you get, yes. Yes. But see, I grew up there, right? Like I was born and raised in LA. So I already know that. Like that was already factored in to my assessment. And once you leave the United States, you will find that is an American thing. It's not just an LA thing. It's an American thing. That like putting on airs and that all that perception and that like no one effing cares. And when you leave the United States, you find that the average person in your life just does not care. They just don't care.
But it's perfected in LA.
It probably is perfected in LA. Hey, Kimberly. So yeah, we can definitely post the definitions of Black excellence versus Black wealth. So give us some time after the live is over, and we will do that.
Do we have one up there? Right there. Yeah.
Which one?
Willowboro. That one. Did you say anything?
Yeah, we already read that one. Yeah, we did. Okay. Sorry, y'all. We're looking at what is in the chat. Right-wing politics seems to be spreading around the world. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens in Germany's elections.
Well, Germany's elections, yeah, they were supposed to be. Are they tomorrow or today?
I thought they were this weekend.
I did too. We have to see
when that. Yeah, this weekend. Yeah, today's Sunday. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what the results are. Have you heard anything?
No.
Okay, so we'll see. And it is spreading, and it always spreads. But conservatism always spreads when there is economic uncertainty, right? And so every time the oligarchs claw back and decide that it is in everyone's best interest to have, less than 10% of the population have all of the stuff, right? And then the rest, the 90%, have very little of the stuff and scrape to survive. Like every single time that the oligarchies think that that is a good decision, we get to this place. This is not the first time, right?
No.
This is just the first time in modern history, right? But this is not the first time that they have done this. And so it is no surprise that human beings' natural response is to go conservative, is to say do less instead of government do more, right? Like it's interesting. It's really interesting. It's interesting that it's easier to look for somebody to blame. Right? Than to actually have to think about how to figure out and solve the actual problems of the day.
And it's the younger generations that are doing it. It's not the older generations because they've lived through all the craziness. They know what to expect from the craziness. So it's the younger generation that are going more towards the right wing because they haven't experienced anything. And they want somebody to blame to why it's life, how they think it should be is not the way it is. So, the right.
I don't know, y'all. Do you think that's true? Do you think it's the younger people? I don't think it's the younger people.
I do.
I think that too many of the younger people are going right wing, and which is never a good sign, right? Usually it is always the young people who drive change, right? Like if we look at every revolution that has happened culturally or with violence, it's always been the young people at the forefront. Always.
What are your thoughts? That's my thought, my personal opinion of it.
Yeah, we'd love for you to know. Let us know. All right. Um, what else was a cultural shock? Were you shocked by the violence? Did you feel a sense of helplessness during your last visit? So, no, I didn't feel a sense of helplessness because we never think it's really going to happen to us, right? But one of the things that was abundantly clear, and that like said, "Hello, you're in the States," is when I got off of the plane and I'm going through the airport, and the militaristic signage. Like there was just a kind of militaristic air about the sound, like border control, you know. Everyone else is like, and maybe I don't know because I can't read. Like it never. I don't remember it ever saying border control. To me, it just says immigration,
Mm-hmm.
right? You go through immigration when you go to other countries, but here it's always border control. And maybe I'm reading too much into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Um, so yeah, I think at this point, as far as culture shock is concerned, I think it is more. Um, it's more the feelings that you get, right? Like just a kind of sense of anxiousness that is kind of an undercurrent when I'm in the United States, and rage, an undercurrent of rage.
You still felt that? You felt that the last time we were there.
It's prevalent. It's prevalent. Are there countries where the culture prevents right wing takeovers, maybe less militant or oppressed?
Mm.
I think the countries that have governments that are making sure that their average citizen is doing okay will not have a right wing takeover, because I've never seen a right wing takeover when things are going well. Isn't that interesting? When things are going well, the conservatives are never in charge. Why do you think that is? But you can look, even in other countries, right? You can look. That's never the case. Well, tell me, because I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I live in Louisiana and want to get out of here. Should I close the 401k because I just started it at 54? No, no. Put in every single penny that you can. Every single penny. Like you're eating out money, every single penny that you can.
You want it to grow
before you leave that job. Okay? Because this is money. Here's the thing that people don't realize about 401ks. Say you make $80,000 a year. And you're like, oh, I can barely get by with my take-home pay. My take-home pay, you make $80,000 a year. Maybe your take-home pay, if you're married or whatever, is like $62,000, right? Because the rest is taken up in taxes and whatnot. You might be able to put in 10%, even maybe 20% more into your 401k and still have the same amount of take-home pay. So you need to go to your HR people and see about that. See how much more you can put into your 401k, 403b, whatever pre-taxed retirement account that you have access to, right? How much more you can put in before it starts affecting your take-home pay. You might be surprised. You might be surprised. So I remember, Rick, when you said it was too late for you.
I said it was too late, and I started. Then we turned around and start doing it and started putting in money, and then putting in more money. and it grew.
Yeah. Yeah. And really, like, we only put money in it for like 3 years because the pandemic.
Yeah,
Because the
it
pandemic
grew
happened.
substantially. Yeah.
And so it went from 0 to like 50,000 in 3 years, 4 years, not even 4 years, 3.5 years, something like that, because it was sitting there. It was sitting there for a while we couldn't put any more money into it because he wasn't working. He was furloughed, right, during the pandemic. And so it was just sitting there, but the stock market was doing what the stock market was doing, and it was still invested. And so then when they brought you back on and you could start contributing again.
And I switched it over.
Uh,
I went to I changed what it was doing, where it was at. I put in this total stock market.
oh, yeah. You changed what you were invested in. Yeah. So yeah, it is never too late. It is never too late.
Yeah, don't cash it out.
No. How do you go about getting a 1-year rental agreement in Portugal? Are there companies that assist? Yeah, Axel. So that information, I don't think it's in the description below right now, but it will be after this. It's in every other one under All Things Portugal, who you can go through to help you get a rental agreement. Okay. But you need to come here, Axel Foley. You need to come here. You need to make sure that you understand what neighborhood you want to live in and everything else, right? Like Portugal is a commitment. I love it here. I love it here, but it is a commitment. So, you want to make sure that you're not just moving ahead because shit is so crazy in the United States. After almost 25 years at my company, I got a write-up for an innocent mistake. I'm sorry, Allison. See, I've been doing this position for 7 years, and this is the first mistake I've made. I have 60 days to improve.
Oh, God, I hate those.
This is why you need to have fuck you money. Because I remember, Allison, I've been there. I've been there. And my dad had to talk me off the cliff. He had to talk me off the cliff because I was going to do one of them Halisi Vincent rebuttals.
Yeah.
Because making a mistake is human, right? It's different. Like there's a difference between a pattern, a behavior pattern, and a one-off, right? We're talking about one-offs. And Joe Vincent had to talk me off the cliff because I was going to say, look, let me tell you. And then when so-and-so, and then you ain't said nothing when I came in and I did this and this and that to make us look good and blah, blah, blah. You ain't had nothing to say. But now that's where I would have gone. That's where I would have gone because that's the truth, right? Yeah. That is the truth. And so the reason why I had to eat humble pie and take their little 60-day probation bullshit, and write a letter about how I will improve and what I will do to improve, and all of this other nonsense is because I didn't have fuck you money. You've got to make sure that you are putting money aside. So when it's time to say, you know what, let's let yesterday be my last day, you can do that. You can do that, right?
Put yourself in a position to do that. Mm-hmm. You can do it. Everybody can do that. It's just having the right mindset to do it. To put money away to the side and let it make money on its own. Put it in CDs, put it in whatever you got to put it in to make it grow and let it sit there.
Yeah.
Instead of, buying whatever.
It's buying stuff.
Don't buy a new car. Don't buy this. Don't buy, outfits to make you feel better about yourself and stuff like that. Just, start doing sensible things with your money.
Exactly.
And have that money so you can walk away from it.
Exactly. Because I remember my last job, the boss overheard me saying something and I was like, ugh. And she's like, oh, what do you think? I had already given notice. And she was like, well, Alicia, I'm not going to fire you. And I was thinking, look, I gave notice. I don't care. I do not care what you do right now. I do not care. if you want to let me go and you don't need my expertise to usher this new person in,
Yeah.
cool. It is no thing because I had already saved. We had already saved. Fuck you money.
And companies don't care. I'm sorry.
They don't.
Unless it's your company.
Right? Like they expect you to give 2 weeks notice, but they don't give you 2 weeks notice before they let you go, right? Like it is not guaranteed that when they let you go, whether it's a layoff or a firing or otherwise, that they're going to give you 2 weeks pay.
And believe me, after you got 60 days to improve, it's going to stay on your record. So if you do anything that looks like another infraction, guess what? It's another count against you if it doesn't get rid of you. So, yeah.
They're so full of it.
Just prepare yourself because companies, they're not beholden. No, they don't care.
They do not care. And they are not, these jobs ain't loyal.
And it's a whole lot easier to hire somebody to do your job at a lower cost than it is to keep you.
Yeah.
Just food for thought.
Yeah. This is America. The focus is always on the wrong thing, and it's so normalized we can't even see that it's a problem. I think we said that one. Okay. I'm not sure what happened. Let's move that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, y'all, or where we were at. So unplug that. If y'all can hear us, let us know.
Well, you're not plugged in to, where you're going to be.
Yeah, we're going through, we're just going, if you can hear us, we're going through our regular mic. It's muted. Okay. Audio, regular mic. Okay.
You can put it up on the
We can hear you. Okay. All right. Very good.
Sorry about that. It's
and it's still not coming up.
My computer is not coming up.
I don't know what happened. And I don't know where we were. So I'm going to go back to the start things and we're going to, so just do your research before you move abroad. Yes. So, too many times, I think that I've heard from vendors that people kind of jump in too fast. So we have a Move Abroad toolkit. It is in the description below. Invest the $8 or whatever in the Move Abroad toolkit so that you are asking all of the right questions and making sure that you are not forgetting about anything, right? Like moving to another country is not like moving from state to state, right?
No.
So sorry for your loss, Alicia. Sending you healing vibes. Thank you, Allison. Thank you. We really appreciate it. Wealth legacies can be changed for the unprepared and unfinancially educated. Just saying. Just saying. I visited with my daughter in New York City this past week and reminded her to get some foreign currency in her portfolio.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
I have euros in Portugal and Belgium with Ys. So absolutely, absolutely. And we are still like, we're moving money. We're definitely moving money, but we are also doing research on the tax implications of investing here through our bank, investing in the stock market here in Europe. So I'm not playing. Like, I don't know. I don't know what these white folks doing. I don't know what these white folks are doing. I don't know what they're doing. They're tripping. They're trying to start World War III, it looks like. I don't know what they're doing. But what I do know is that I don't need to be a part of it. I don't need to be a part of it. That's what I do know. Hard to get these grown kids on board to appreciate this property I toiled for to leave them legacy to build upon. Right, Darla? Look, y'all know we had a financial call once a month with our kids. The first call, everybody showed up. The second call, a little less, to the point where nobody was showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was showing up. And this was to talk about what we were going to leave them and how to manage the properties that
how to manage property. We just wanted to know what to do when we were gone in order to maintain the properties and the wealth and stuff like that, how to keep it going. But apparently they weren't interested in that.
Look, I'll spend it all before we die.
Their loss.
I'll tell you that much. My theory. We've been conditioned to survive and assimilate, right? Work twice as hard to be considered just as good, and still it never seems to be enough. Financial independence versus acceptance. Exactly. Like, I'd rather have financial independence than be accepted by the power structure, right? Like, as opposed to being accepted by, whomever. They want us to continue to bow down like it is still the Jim Crow era. They're trying to recreate the Jim Crow era. And I'm not down with that. Like, I'm not about that life. I am not about that life. I'm not about that life. We need reprogramming. We've been seeking status instead of wealth since working the plantations and looking at how the non-workers lived with zero understanding of finances or wealth. Exactly. And I mean, we only know what we know. Now, I was thinking about, listening to some of the older people in my family and stuff like that and how they were talking. And it's like, yeah, if your understanding, if your lived experience is poverty, right? Then having a good job and being able to pay your bills must seem like a great thing. So I get it. I get why we weren't having these conversations when you're talking, because it's all relative, right? But we've been in the situation now for a couple of generations or so where we have been above just scratching to get by.
Right.
And the time has long passed for us, to stop thinking so much in the here and now. Sadly, no one ever spoke about building Black wealth when I was growing up, right? Just as we were just saying, it was you get a house and you're doing well. Sorry, y'all, for that. The more stuff, the better you did, but never any talk about the future. Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Which is why my mom and dad are in the position that they're in. Which is why, I like. So something else became abundantly clear when I was back in LA with my family, and that is we refuse to talk about what needs to be talked about, so that we are not putting our kids in financial straits. Okay. Why was my cousin rushing around to get his POA signed? Okay, y'all, let's take care of our business. I know that these are not conversations that we want to have, but we have to make sure that especially if we've got property and this and that and the other, and or we want somebody to be able to make decisions about our health, that this stuff needs to be in writing. And you need to say who's going to have that power and put that in writing and do it the right way. So a lot of you all work at corporations where one of the benefits is legal assistance, right? And you pay like $2-3 or something like that, a paycheck or whatever, right? And those people, because that's one of the benefits if you work at one of these large corporations, right? They will pay to get that kind of stuff done for you. Let's get that stuff done.
It's worthwhile having. It truly is.
Because so much of our wealth is sucked away by ignorance and not understanding the system, and it's lost when people pass away, right? And we're having, and things have to go through probate because we didn't have our business together. The days of the sit-ins are done. Just open a soda shop. I heard that, travel girl. I heard that. Y'all get that? Y'all get that? Like, we have been struggling, right, to have a seat at the soda fountain. That's been our struggle since we arrived on North American continent. Have a seat at the soda fountain, when our struggle should have been to own the damn soda fountain. That part. Like, think about what we were fighting for in the 60s.
Yeah. I already did that.
Thank you, Frederica.
We did that.
And then we did this one. Thank you again, Ra. Okay. People are still talking about buying pricey concert tickets.
Well, what gives them their joy, I guess.
It is not our job to spend other people's money or to not spend other people's money. What we will hope is that for every concert ticket that they have purchased, that they have saved double that amount of money, right? Like, some of us can afford to do both. So we couldn't. We couldn't. But if you can afford to do both, if you can afford to get yourself to financial independence and treat yourself to one of these expensive ass concerts, they're not that expensive here. Like, you can see Beyonce and stuff like that for half the cost. Oh, yeah. If you live here, right? But it's easy for us to look at somebody else's behavior and make judgment calls, but we're not in their books, right? We're not in their books. And so I'm going to assume that if you're buying that pricey $300 concert ticket, that you were able to save $600 as well, right? Like, you were able to do that. Otherwise, then we have to question, like, where are your priorities, and what do you really care about? What do you really care about? Just bought a dozen eggs in Panama for $106 a dozen. Wow. They're not that inexpensive here in Portugal. Here in Portugal, I think they're about $2.85. Yeah, $2.85. And then like a half a dozen you can get for like $169 or something like that. But yeah, $106?
18 was like €4.
Okay.
When we were at Continent, I looked at the
Okay.
thing.
I wasn't paying attention. See, that's the thing, y'all. 106 in Panama for eggs. We do not need to have as much money as we believe we have. So if you are into buying, to building Black wealth, and you are starting late, okay, moving out of the United States could help you do that. 106 for a dozen eggs in Panama. Okay, the cost of living is less expensive in other places, and it could potentially get you out of harm's way. Angelia, I just turned 59, but I refuse to believe it's too late. Yeah, so glad I found you. Thank you. We read that one already. Do you have recommendations for people who can be hired to walk someone through the residency process? Hey, Jazzy D, you've been here for a while. So yes, down in the, well, it's not there yet, but in the description below, under All Things Portugal, you will see a link for Start Abroad, and you'll want to use that link so that you can get a discount. They can help you with Portugal, Panama, or Costa Rica. Okay. Just turned 59. Okay. Wow. Glad you said. What? How did I thought I unchecked that one? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry, y'all. All right. Hey, Nichelle. Michelle, exactly. Look into other currencies and other options not dependent on the US dollar. Stuff is getting crazy, y'all. Start Abroad is $5,000 for assistance. Is that extravagant? If that includes finding your apartment and everything, then and that's for one person, that is a bit expensive. If it's not for everything. I have a consultation with Tia, Nikki, and Merida. Yes, this week to jumpstart my movement. Yes, Peggy, so happy for you. Also considering Panama this year. Got to make a move. Yes, 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 yes. We love it.
Give Tia our love.
Yes, people really don't get that it is a pivotal moment. We are already in it. History may not repeat exactly, but it sure is rhyming. It is, y'all. It is. Like, we are seeing democracy crumbling before our very eyes, And the only thing that I want to know is, are my people going to be okay? Because we have paid the price. We have paid the price. Elon, the apartheid boar, cut y'all off. I'm just fooling. Welcome back. Business as usual. They're not stopping this show. That's right, Justice. Thank you. And thank you for the super thanks. Right? Like, who's messing with this? Why are they messing with our internet? Why are they messing with our internet?
Crazy.
So, all right, you guys, we're going to let you go. Let's see if there's anything more you all want to talk about. I want everybody to be okay. These days, I'm only spending my dollars with Black companies. Yep.
Good.
If it's not, it's got to be a necessity, right? In Chicago, before I came to Panama, I paid over $10 for a dozen eggs. Yeah. No way. $20.65. $20 for eggs, y'all? In Connecticut. Like, I'm sorry, but oh, so do you know any group that is going to the summit this summer? I can join, so I will not have to travel alone. I would love to come this summer. So we're doing a meetup this summer, right? In June. We always do a meetup in June. It is June 16th and 17th. The tickets are already on sale. Information is in the description below. We are going to have so much fun. So it is a 2-day event. And then we've got, if you look at the page, you'll see that there's also some informal things that we are doing around Juneteenth and things like that. So y'all, I know some of you are already got your tickets to come to the meetup. If you want to participate and come and hang out with our Black Utopia and other Black expats that are here in Portugal, Come to our meetup.
Come on.
June 16th and 17th. When he says $10 in Chicago for eggs, we don't have to put up with this, y'all. We do not have to put up with this. You do not have to put up with white supremacy making sure that your life is miserable, right? Like, it's white supremacy that put him in office. It's white supremacy. It is that racism that causes people to vote in such a way where they're hurt, and they don't care about being hurt just so long as we're hurt. We don't have to put up with that.
Right.
We don't have to put up with that. And $10 a dozen eggs, that's putting up with a lot. That is putting up with a lot. And so we need for you to start saving your money. We need for you to find that remote job if you're not close to retirement age, right? Like, if you have not been planning, we need for you to find that remote job so you can get out of Dodge. And we need for you to get your passport today. Today. That's what we need you to do. I was looking at Beyonce tickets. So far, just London and Paris. Just for that reason, I'm guessing it won't be in New York City like this. They're not. Like, I was hearing people paying like $500 and something like that for Beyonce tickets, and here they were like $200 or $300. They were still too expensive to me, but they were cheaper than they were in the United States. Truth be told, if Kendrick Lamar were performing in Lisbon while I was in Lisbon instead of July, I'd pay for that. It's way cheaper than USA tickets. Yes. Yes, they are. All right, y'all. We are going to let you go. Let's see. Do you know? Okay, answered that. My grandmother always said, "Not my monkey, not my show." That's how I feel about the U.S. now. This isn't my mess to fix. I'm ready to build a new life in a country I love, Portugal. Alexander. We love Portugal too. And I'm so happy to be back home. I'm really, really happy to be back home. Look, y'all, we are finishing up the Side Hustle Challenge. If you need to increase your income, then sign up for our newsletter so that you know the next time we do another Side Hustle Challenge. If you need help getting your money straight, Beyond the Bling is the answer. It is our financial course for late bloomers, right? It's going to be your pathway, your fastest pathway to financial independence. You can take the shortcut. You don't have to take the long way. You don't have to like try to figure it out on your own. It's there. If you need community, we have our Facebook group, which is Fire Over 50. If you don't have a picture on your Facebook profile to let us know that you're from the African diaspora, it's going to be hard to get in the group. I'm just going to tell you. So you'll need to message us with a picture of yourself. We will message you and say, do you have a picture? And then you need to watch for that and message us back if you don't have a picture already on your profile, right?
Not a picture of the dog, not a picture of the flowers, not a picture of you.
Yes.
Not of an avatar.
Exactly. Not even of an avatar, right? So, and some of y'all got you got your stuff on lockdown. You got it on lockdown, so we can't even see anything.
I mean, even if you send me an instant message, which a lot of people do, they'll send me an instant message with a picture of them, Then
you'll let them in.
Then I let them in.
Yeah. You have traveled throughout different European countries. Has Europe turned out to be far more receptive to Black American excellence than your experience in America? Well, I don't know about Black American excellence per se, but the United States has a unique kind of racism. And all of the worst racism around the world learned from America, right? The Nazis learned from America. The apartheid South Africa learned from America, right? They all learned from America. So America has this unique brand of lethal racism that has indoctrinated the white population to believe that it is their duty to police our actions. And so, no, I don't feel policed here in Europe like I do in the United States. I don't feel a sense of I have to be so far above reproach because otherwise I could end up dead. That's what I feel like in the United States. And I don't feel that here.
No. Okay.
So with that, we're going to let you go. We love y'all, and we will see you on Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, we'll see you on Thursday. All right. Bye, y'all.